Hello and welcome to ALW Collectibles. I am ALW and today we're going to be reviewing Transformers Generation 1 Grimlock. Grimlock is one of my all-time favorite Transformers. I've been collecting Transformers since the 1980s. And this is one of many videos on many toys I hope to be doing. So let's dive right in and take a look at it. A little bit of history on the toy itself. In 1985, it was imported from Japan from a toy line called Diaclone. It was the Dinosaur Robo Mecha series. It was a piloted mecha, and the original toy release actually had this element in the back in which a little human would sit in the back, I almost said robot, and pilot this. Later releases of the Transformer line actually locked this cockpit so it could not be opened. The other modification that was made to this was the teeth itself. They were actually blunted down for US safety standards. So if anybody actually gets an original Diaclone, you will notice a slight difference on the teeth themselves. Again, this is my first review. Still getting the niche on how I want to present this. Any comments on it, feel free to leave any. Hopefully they're positive, but you know, people will be people. So let's take a look at them. There's the stomach, there's the legs, the tail, there's the back of the tail. This is actually where the rub sign used to be. Again, I've had this since the 80s. It's gone through a little bit of wear and tear. It's been moved around a lot. For posability, wasn't much with this toy. You could go that far. You could bend his leg, which does not bend that well at all on mine. Still very tight joints on that spot. And you can move these. That's basically it. The arm could rotate all the way around. The head could look up, could look straight, and you can open the mouth. That's it. That's all the posability you got with this toy originally. Nice design here. Gold. This was clear plastic at one time. It's just tarnished over time. This was all silver. And this, of course, is the little cockpit in the back. You can take a look in there. Nothing really to see there. Gold plastic once again on the inside. Covered by clear plastic. There's a little flamethrower in there. Red eyes. So that's pretty much it for the dinosaur mode. He does come with a few accessories. Double blaster gun. And a red energon sword. He does as well come with a rocket launcher and 3 chrome missiles, which I no longer have. Little bio tech specs on Grimlock. He is the leader and commander of the Dinobots. His motto, among the winners, there is no place for the weak. His tech specs on the original toy was his strength was a 10, intelligence was a 7, speed was a 3, endurance was a 10, rank was a 10, courage was an 8, firepower was a 7, and skill was a 10. My biggest issue I had with him, even from day one, was just this little folding down here. And the fact you really couldn't do much with the head. I wish you could go up a little bit higher or somehow come down a little bit lower, but I understand for the toys at the time, this was actually the bomb. So let's get into a little bit of transformation and we'll take a look at it in the robot mode. First thing you're gonna do is pop the head back. And take his chest plate, you're gonna open it up and swing him to the back, which will reveal his head. This entire assembly, you're gonna grab by the sides of the legs and bring up. All you're gonna do is make sure that these pieces are lined up and push it straight back. And that forms the top. Here comes the bottom. Open those. There is a little cavity right here, which sits right over that. So you just got to pop that, bring down his legs, bring him out to the side. And there's a hinge right in here you fold it at. And of course today he wants to be stubborn. And there is Grimlock in robot mode. And overall, I really do like this robot mode. So let's get into a little bit of detail here. Again, mine's super, super loose because of his age. So let's take a look at that head. Very, very nice sculpting on the head for the 1980s. My opinion, a little small for the body, but I understand. Again, mine originally, this piece here, I actually had to glue it on. It used to come off all the time. So, yep. There's no head rotation, no movement on the head at all. The arm can come up, and that's all you had for movement with him on the upper body. With that. Autobot symbol right there. Let's go down to the side. He did have slight hip movement. That was it. That's all you got. Little tiny bit. Just have good knee bend. Come down here. And you come to the back of the figure. These are more like a wing design on his back. Again, like I said, mine's old, doesn't like to stay in place. And I like to keep the arms at a slight angle because that's how they looked on the show. I really wish some of this had like clipped in back in the day, but none of it did, so it just flops around. And yeah. My biggest detractor with this one was the size of the head. I always thought it was small and disproportionate to the body. And I really wish there would have been a way to clip all this in the back. A little more thought process and just these parts of the tail. I wish we could have had a way to hide these. Some of the other Dinobots, it looked nice on, but I always thought it detracted from the figure in this one. And then you can just have them holding his weapons. My final thoughts on this figure, because it's very near and dear to my heart. Overall, I've always enjoyed this figure. I've liked it immensely. I just wished, even back then, they'd thought a little bit more on how to position and lock things in place. But there he is, 1985 Grimlock. This is ALW saying thank you for spending time with me, and come back real soon.